Hello again. Right, it is time for me to cook dinner, and I went to the fridge and I found that 4 mushrooms, an onion and some garlic. So I'm going to make a protein-free and normal protein dinner for myself and my husband, because what I'm going to throw in is I've got some non-PKU pasta, I've got some PKU pasta. I went back to the fridge, I found some low protein cheese, got a can of tomatoes, got cooking oil, got some Worcestershire sauce, got some basil and some chili flakes. And with all of that, I am going to make dinner, basically. First things first, I'm going to show you guys how to chop an onion. Quick disclaimer, I will be chopping vegetables. I will be using a knife to chop vegetables. I'm going to show you how I chop vegetables, but nothing is infallible. There is no guaranteed way of not hurting yourself while you do this. So if you are not an adult, do not do this. If you are an adult and you've never done this before, get someone in your life to show you how. If you're trying these techniques for the first time, go slowly, don't rush. And if you do injure yourself, well, it's a knife, it's sharp. You have been warned. Please take care. I'm not responsible for your fingernails. And basically, when you're chopping an onion, what you want to do is keep this part facing away from you. So this is where all the juice is and the roots. And that's what we're going to focus on, is trying to make you cry as little as possible. So I've just taken the end off it. Notice I'm keeping the cut end pointing away from me, because it's the juice that spurts out that makes you cry. Peel the onion. Sorry, the dog knocked the camera. Okay, so we're at this point. I've taken all the peel off, got the little roots at the top, and I'm keeping the cut surface away from me. So I'm just going to get rid of the peel. And I keep a bowl nearby. All goes in there. And I've got a working surface again. So again, onion stays facing down. And what I like to do at this point is these hairy roots, just nip them off, put them there. Makes life a bit tidier. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is cut down through the centre and immediately lay the cut surfaces down. I'm going to work on one half at a time. And if you see, I've got the knife here and I'm not cutting right through the roots. I'm leaving this bit here so that I cut down to the board and then angle down. Point down to the board, angle down, and all that's doing is keeping all the bits attached together, and you'll see why in a moment. Okay, so this, basically they're sliced through. If I do that, you can see they're sliced through, but they're still attached. And all I'm going to do is hold my onion, slice. And there we have it, a load of chopped onion and all your juice neatly contained in that little bit there. So I'll do that again so you can see. Slicing down. Slicing across. This is what you do, like if a recipe called for diced onion, this is how I would dice my onion. Because when you pull your knife up, you can see you actually get pretty small pieces of onion there. Okay, and the bit with the root goes straight in there. All right, no tears. So here's the pot I'm going to make my sauce in. I'm going to put in a glug of, that's just oil. Normal oil, and I'm going to put my diced onion, scrape it off the board, take my time about this. Right, done. Okay. Now what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to get that on the stove to start the onion sweating down. I like to put a little grain of salt, not too much, but just enough to start the flavour and the juices going. So that will go on the stove. Okay, so I've got the onion on the stove. I'm just going to start it off on a low heat. So yeah, all that's in here is the onion I've chopped and that little bit of salt. And that is just going to sit there and warm up and start sweating down while I chop the other veggies. Right, mushroom time. So I've just basically, these mushrooms, I don't bother peeling mushrooms. I just give them a quick scrub. Or actually, what I do nowadays is I damp down a paper towel and I wipe the top of it and they're done. If you want to peel them, go ahead. It's your life, it's your time. I remove the stalk, slice the stalk separately, and I like these metal bowls. They're really handy for just storing your ingredients in while you're getting ready. This is a fairly big mushroom. If I was to slice it across, you can see the bits in the middle would be bigger than bite size. So what I'm going to do, slice it down the middle, and then I'm going to hold it. It's got two sliced sides like that, and hold the things together using our special grip of holding +2. And again, I am just going to give myself a bit more room, work my way down. You can see that I'm using the knife to slice. I'm not forcing the knife down, it's just using the sharp edge to slice the mushroom. And roll. Okay. Do another one. Slice that. It'll go in. Right, I'm going to slice down through there. Okay, and again, try and show you this technique as best I can. I am keep the point on the board, slice down. Move the mushroom, slice, or move the knife, slice on the board, slice down. If you're having trouble, maybe your knife needs sharpened, maybe you need a bigger knife. There's a reason for chef's knives, right? And that is slicing mushrooms. I did obviously clean this before I started doing this. Hopefully you can hear the onion is starting to fry up. I can definitely smell that it's starting to fry up. It's looking a bit yellow because it's got the rapeseed oil, but if I bring some of the onion out, you can see that it's still quite white. So I want it to sweat down a little bit more. So it's just on a gentle heat and will sweat down. Okay, so I had wandered off and a slight smell brought me back. I can smell the onion in the air now, and you can see in the pot that it's just a little bit starting to stick. So I'm going to move it round. What you're looking for is for the onion to start going. Let me get you a proper bit. A little bit translucent, so you can see there's a big bit there which is still a bit white, and then there's some smaller bits here which are starting to go see-through. So getting your onion to see-through is what you're looking for when you're sweating it down. And that's getting there slowly. At this point, I am going to add in my chili flakes. My husband loves a bit of heat. And I'm just going to add in, because I know he likes it, I'm just going to chuck some in. There we go. Putting that in now, while the onion is sweating down, will help the flavours to sort of meld a bit more through the dish. Next step is garlic. So I have got 1 clove of garlic here. And what you want to do is, again, I take the bottom bit off. I should have explained. Garlic cloves, you've got a pointy bit, you've got the bottom bit, this basal plate. So I've sliced through that, and you can just see the garlic skin is peeling off neatly. That can go away. Okay, so I've got my garlic, and I don't bother with a garlic crusher or a garlic grater, because frankly those things are pains in the ass to clean. So I just like to, see I'm slicing thinly down. I'm just going up and down with the knife. So the top of the knife here isn't leaving the board. I'm just using a rocking motion, and I'm slowly feeding the garlic through with my other hand. Now, what you can see, I'm actually just holding my hand like that. So I'm not doing that. I've got my fingers pinched in like that, and they're just basically pushing the garlic through so that I'm not going to catch my fingers when I get to that bit. Okay, so that's sliced garlic. If you're doing sliced garlic, you're done. If you're wanting to do diced garlic, just get what's left on the knife off. I always turn the chopping board around, right, and just do the same motion. In this case, I put my hand at the top here to hold the knife down, and then I just rock it back across the garlic. And you can do this as many times as you like to get your garlic as fine as you like. And as I say, I am cooking for just a weeknight dinner here. I'm not a Michelin-starred chef about to present to the president, so I'm happy with that level of garlic. All right, so there you can see, if I pull this out, these are getting nice and translucent now. So I am going to add my garlic. Now at this point, don't wander off. Garlic burns faster than onion. So just put it in and stay here. Oh, sorry. Not off the tripod there. Put it in and stay here to stir it and keep an eye on it. Now garlic, you can tell when garlic's starting to fry up nicely because you start to get the garlic scent melding with the onion, and I can smell that and the chili coming up. I've just put the heat down a little, starting to stick a bit on the bottom there. So I've turned the heat down. Good, 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 good. So I haven't wandered off anywhere. I've been here stirring, and the garlic scent is starting to come up in the air. So I'm going to add in my chopped mushrooms. Come on, out of there. And what I'm looking to do here is to basically fry the mushrooms down. They'll start releasing their moisture. And I'm just going to fry them down with the onion and the garlic and the chili. And I'll just keep an eye on it. Because I'm not adding any sauce in at the moment, it's gonna get dry quite quickly. So the garlic, the time span so far, the onion's been in about 5 minutes, the chili about a minute, the garlic about a minute, and now I'll mix these in well, and I'll just keep an eye on them and keep moving them around. So come back every couple of minutes to move them around so they don't stick. Okay, so that's been about 5 minutes. I've been around just filling up the dishwasher, giving it a stir every now and then, and you can see the mushrooms are starting to get a little bit wet, which is nice because it's lifted some of the stuff that got stuck off the bottom. And I'm just going to leave it a little bit longer. The longer you leave this to sort of, for the mushrooms and onions to fry down together, the more sort of caramelization, which is a nice way of saying gently burning, frying the mushrooms, you'll get more flavour coming out in the end dish. So I'm just going to give that another couple of minutes. But again, I'm not going anywhere, but I'm not standing over it all the time. Whoops, did I wander off? Yes, I did. So you can see that the mushrooms are starting to stick again on the bottom, and they're getting nice and dark now. You can see there's a little bit of frying coming up on that one. So what I'm going to do is add my tomato sauce. Sorry, chopped tomatoes, basically. Just a can, pop it in. Canned tomatoes are a cupboard staple. If you're on the diet in the UK or on what they call the simplified diet in the US, They are usually protein-free. Double check this, whichever diet you're on, double check it with your clinic. But so far, all we've got in the pot are onions, garlic, mushrooms, a bit of chilli, and canned tomatoes. All of it, as I say, under the UK diet or the simplified diet would be considered protein-free. So I'm just going to mix in a little bit more flavouring here. Got my basil. Now, if you're using fresh basil, add it at the end. I like to add my dried basil now. It helps it sort of hydrate up again, and helps it meld into the dish before you serve it. I also, because I'm in the UK, can add my Worcestershire sauce. Just adds a little bit of umami. A couple of drops, that's all you need with that stuff. And I will mix that in. So all I'm doing is giving it a good mix so that it's pretty melded, scraping down the sides. I will leave that to bubble down a bit. This time I'm going to put a lid on it to stop any splashes when it gets back up to temperature, and I will come and check on that. Alright, hopefully you can hear that bubbling away under the lid. Let's take a look. Okay, bubbling away quite happily. Just going to stir it round. Scrape the stuff back off the sides. And just give it a bit longer. It's still kind of sloopy at the moment. There's still a lot of water when I give it a stir. So all I'm doing is kind of boiling off the water to concentrate the flavour of the tomatoes. Just a little bit more. Okay, bubbling away quite happily. Yep, steam coming off. Okay. Now this is obviously going to just be a simple pasta sauce, and I'm quite happy with the texture of it. It's lost a lot of the water from boiling off. You can see it's going to sit nicely with my pasta. Let's look at making PKU pasta and non-PKU pasta in the same pot. So this is useful if you're cooking for obviously someone with PKU and someone without PKU. It's how I make most of my dinners. And what I've got here is a pot, big drainer pot, and in there you can see there's water with a little bit of oil on top. And this pot comes with inserts. It comes with two inserts. And it's got the big draining insert, which has got the PKU pasta measured into it, and it's got the smaller draining insert, which has got the non-PKU pasta in it. Okay. I also have, sitting by the side here, a tablespoon of table salt. Okay, let's get this pasta water boiling. Okay, goodness me, I hope you can see that we have pasta boiling away here. I'm going to be careful because the steam pouring out. Alright, so you can see we've got a lovely, good boil going, which is fantastic. So at this point, I am gonna very carefully give it a bit of a stir. Here's my teaspoon of salt, pop that in. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is, this is my measured amount of PKU, not of normal pasta. That goes in, give everything a bit of a stir. Here's my PKU pasta. That sits in, and you can see that the water covers it in there. Okay, so lid back on. Set a timer for, I usually do 12 minutes. Okay, let's put this all together. I drained the pasta off camera because I didn't want to burn myself. So I've got the PKU pasta, I've got the non-PKU pasta, and I have the pasta sauce. So you saw me make it, it's just a simple pasta sauce. I'll get a spoon that's not slotted. And it's just a case now of dishing it up. So you can see the cooking has meant that it's just not quite as watery as when I put the canned tomatoes in. And serve this up. So that's dinner all plated up. Just a final bit of again, protein-free grated cheese. This really was a dinner made from the remnants of the fridge, but from an onion, 4 mushrooms, a bit of garlic, canned tomato, we have a protein-free dinner and a non-PKU dinner done.